She said she's going to spill the beans. Now, would that be considered treason if she did that, or would that be considered a favor to national security? Okay? Yes, 45 is a freaking joke. This man is beyond a joke. It's so scary that the Dow Jones has plummeted. This is starting to look like, which was it, W or the other Bush? This is starting to look like the Bush again, okay, where they're going to have to give us checks to make sure we go out and spend money and keep stuff circulating. This is a sick joke. It's almost like one of those jokes where you wake up and be like, all right, we're done with this, right? This is, Ashton Kutcher's going to jump out, right? He's not. The only thing we could do is continue to write our Congress. The only thing that we could do is get out and vote, period. Those on the line right now in the lay organization, those of you in sororities and fraternities, those of you in black caucuses and other, clubs or what have you, it's up to you to educate the public on voting. It's up to us. People think that the voting strategy is to get a president in or out. But we're seeing right now that that's not the case. You have Barry O in office last time, right? President Obama, but his hands were tied. Why? Because it was a Republican House and Senate. Both sides were owned by the Republicans. Now you have number 45 in office, and he's doing everything, but he's starting to see that there's checks and balances. But if we paint 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue blue, vote Democrat. Don't vote just because, they're black or they're white or they're Spanish or they're polka dot. Who cares? Vote and say we need to make sure these midterm elections, these seats are up, 101 seats are up, and there are Republicans. If we paint that White House blue, a lot of the stuff that this man is getting away with would not happen. So, Lindsay, absolutely. I know Basis Sorority Incorporated will always make sure that voter registration information is out there. It has to be the same for the AKA and the Deltas and the Rose. It has to be the same. We cannot keep doing things like we did yesterday and expect different results. It's not going to happen. Because you got the Germaine Moores, with 6-year-old girls, doing stuff, okay? Then you got Omarosa warning us, but she could have done it before, and then it's just so much stuff. Black people should go with the Green Party. We should. But the problem with that is we're not unified, and that's the reason why Trump got in office. Because how many people, let's be honest, how many people know people who voted for Joe Biden? How many people do you know voted for the other dude whose name we can't even remember? That was a Floyd. We need to, if we're going to be green, we need to all be green. If we're going to be Democrats, we all have to be Democrats. If we're going to be independent, we all have to be independent. We can't keep flipping and dicing and flipping and bouncing our denominations, our political parties. So we are going green. It needs to be a national front for all black and brown people. Benata, we need to be green. Red, green, whatever. But we can't have half green, half Democrat. We're going to get this solution to office again. They said that Clinton was by, was it 0.7 or 7%? And that number was found in those who voted for Joe Stein and the other two. So now we got Orange Genie in office, right? And we're all crying, oh, what happened? You know what happened. You happened. You said, oh, my vote's not going to count. My voice is muffled. You happened. The ones who didn't want to do voter registration and make sure their voting cards are up to date. You know what happened. So don't get mad that this freaking orange agent is in office and you did nothing to keep him out. You happened. You're the reason why. Let's take the attitude to elect Alabama Senate to the next vote. Listen, check this out. When Roy Moore won, that shook the atmosphere, okay? Not only when Angela Lance Bottoms won, not only when, other African-Americans, African-American and what's up, Soror, Tanika, and Minnesota and West Virginia won. I think in Montana, too. In complete red state. Voter registration educated is needed. People really don't understand the voting process or the power of voting we have with the right to vote. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Alabama stepped up. They were like, I don't care if I got to walk from Selma to freaking Tennessee. I'm voting, okay? And when they did that, they got Roy Moore out, right? And then they were able to say, we don't want you. No more, okay? No more. So Doug Jones won. When Doug Jones won, Roy Moore's party was like, wait a minute, what? This unknown Democrat beat us? We don't even know who Doug Jones is. How did he win? I'm going to tell you how he won. People in Alabama were tired of being tired. People in Alabama were tired of segregation creeping its ugly head back in. Calling all LBGQRMOP. Nelly, I hate you. But we do need them. Listen, I in my honest opinion, I think that Kennedy should run for president. The young Kennedy, the third. So when they said that he needed a bid because he was ruling, yes, he needs to run for president. Okay? He needs to run for president because he is showing us the exact same thing that his uncle, JFK, Robert, he's showing everybody what he's made out of. Now, of course, we're going to get what we like all the time, but damn it, we need to vote. And like I said, what happened in Alabama was amazing. They were out in droves. They weren't taking no for an answer. They were coming with police escorts talking about why can't I vote? Here's my card. Here's my ID. Here's my lease. Here's my mortgage deed. Here's this. Here's my website, my freaking left arm. Why won't you let me vote? So now what happened, we talked about this in another show. It was hilarious to me that everyone thought that Roy Moore was going to win, right? So what they did was they said, let's have it where we can't get the votes anymore. Let's have them destroyed directly after the election. Because we're not going to go through wasting taxpayers' money with recounting the votes. So now when the result came out that Doug Jones won, guess who was not able to get a recount? Exactly. The power of the black woman. Yes, 98% of black women voted for Doug Jones, and it's always that 2% that was dating Uncle Tom that voted for Roy Moore. So my baby said, I wish those supporters would have voted for Teletubbies instead. Oh, my God. We need to all realize that voting isn't going to do anything. Financial power is the only way to impact the economy and government and the world. We are still stuck in a crab. Yeah, Nelly just said the crab in the barrel mentality. Now, listen, Wes is my baby. I love him and Butter, okay? They are like a power couple out in New York. And Wes, of course, knew Lamont, right, and that's a near dear friend to me. So I'm going to let the pass with the we shouldn't vote go, but I will say this. We need to make sure our dollar counts. Yes, Kennedy and Obama. I said that. Remember I posted that, babe? Kennedy and Michelle, 2020, it would be a landslide vote. It would be a landslide. He would win. But absolutely, Wes, we need to have our dollars count. I remember looking at the 60 posters, and it says, do not buy where they will not hire you. Do not buy where they're not going to respect you. You got H&M straight disrespecting you. And you're still like, I'm going to H&M, I got a coupon. You got a freaking Dove product that clearly said if you're black, you're dirty. But we're still buying Dove products. You have to hit them where it counts. Hey, Deshaun, you have to kick them where it counts. Okay? You have to say, look, I'm not spending my money here. I'm not watching this game. I'm not doing this. Okay? I strongly believe that Kaepernick ran for Senate, freaking president. He would win. He would win. If it isn't Robert Kennedy and Michelle, then Robert Kennedy and Kaepernick, damn it, because I'm telling you, it needs to happen. We need to stop doing business as we did yesterday, or we're going to be stuck in yesterday. If you pay attention to what's going on, we are exactly where our ancestors were when they got off the daggone boat. We are. Only difference is we got shiny things and we think we're important. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we are allowing our power to go. We're not speaking up for ourselves. We're more concerned with who Richard Pryor slept with and which housewife ripped someone's weave and eyelashes off before we are concerned about what we're doing as a people. We need to organize, maybe not march. We need to organize and stop paying for stuff that's not in our best interest. We need to reformulate a Black Wall Street type of mentality. We need to keep shopping black, keep shopping brown, do whatever it takes to keep the economy on our side. But you can't. And then if you're going to do black business, we got to do better. Okay? Boycott poultry, not football. I can't with you, Deshaun. I am not messing with you. But you know what? We have to make sure that whatever we do it in unison. If black folk would stop over-purchasing, we can take – let me tell you something, Nelly. I taught this in my class the year before last. The black dollar, we dominate, okay? But the problem is the black dollar only stays in our community between 12 hours and 1 day. Whereas if you look at the Indian community, their dollar stays in the community for a week. You look at the Jewish community, their dollar stays in the community 3 to 4 days. If you look at the white community, well, guess what? Their money stays in the community forever. okay? We have to stop overspending on Jordan and think about legacy. I'm not leaving my kid gold teeth in Jordan. I'm not, because you can't do nothing with that. But if you start looking at different cryptocurrencies that people have been telling us about years ago, but we're like, oh, it's a scam. We got to stop thinking everything's a damn scam and get on business, okay? We got to start leaving stocks and bonds for our children. We got to start leaving cryptocurrency when a damn dollar ain't worth nothing anymore. Yes, because we live simple lives and we're happy with just enough. With just enough. I was very skeptical. I'm going to be honest. I was skeptical about cryptocurrency because I didn't understand it. Now that I understand it, I invested. But guess what? I would have invested 3 years ago when people were telling me about it. Their coins are now worth in the upper 800,000. One coin worth 1.2 million. So again, when people present opportunities to you, let's not think everything's a daggone scam. Let's stop thinking that everything is, the man is going to get us. You know what? The man is going to get us because you're going to be stuck in the prehistoric age with a daggone paper dollar when now they're doing RTB coins, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrency measures. Do you think it's an accident that cryptocurrency came out? Do you think it's an accident that now people are getting chips to get in and out of their businesses? Do you think it's an accident that people are now saying the dollar goes depleted, that's not going to be worth 13 cents? We have to pay attention. Hey, Renee, what's going on? My sister service. The black community has economic potential, but not the economic power. Let me tell you, the reason we have the economic power, Deshaun, is because we want to buy Jordan. We want to buy the freshest car. We buy things that depreciate the same day that we purchase them. Hey, Sam. The problem is we have economic potential. We have our dollar means it's so heavy, put it that way. Our dollar dominates. And the problem is, instead of reinvesting into our community, instead of reinvesting in things that matter, we want to buy the latest and greatest shiny thing. So absolutely, we are limiting our potential and our economic power, and they know it. Why do you think they want to say, they advertise the most expensive thing in the poorest town? Why do you think they do that? Why would they advertise brand new Jordans in a town with 95% food stamps? Do you see them do it? Well, I live in Delaware now, but I'll just give some major cities. Do you think that Hope Heston has all these liquor stores and Chinese restaurants and dollar stores? No. Do you think that Lower Manhattan, Chelsea, and all that stuff, do you think that they have 1,000,001 liquor stores on one block and 1,000,001 Chinese stores on one block and a bunch of cigarette ads? No. Why? Because they know that their economic dollar is not going to purchase that food, but we do. So last 5 minutes of my show, I want to say, hold on. Oh, my gosh, no, he said, I'll put my dog under my mattress because if electricity goes, we'll have money to survive. Oh, you know what? It's so crazy because there was a real scare not that long ago when they said that because of some kind of satellite positioning, electricity was going to be gone for 2 to 3 days, which means that we would have been dead. Okay? Listen, Deshaun, check this out. If you're being funny, this is not the time. Stay in the crab in the barrel mentality. Now, if you're saying boycott poultry because that's something serious, explain, please. But if not, this is too much of a serious matter. Excuse the comments, fun, and later for us to play around. So, they were saying that if the electricity went out for 2 to 3 days, we would have died. But you can't do nothing. You can't drive the car because it's electric, right? You can't cook. You can't keep your food. Oh, in the stock market. All right, Deshaun, I get you. My bad. Okay. Listen, poultry in the stock market, I hate to say it, but marijuana, because this is the part that angers me with the marijuana piece, okay? Check this out, Deshaun. Hey, Natalie. She's talking about poultry in the stock market. This is what angers me with the whole cannabis thing, okay? We call it weed or marijuana. They call it cannabis, okay? When we were arrested, I'm not saying we as me, but people were arrested for marijuana charges. People were getting 13 to 25-year nonviolent felonies for having marijuana. What's up, Natalie? How you doing, beautiful? So now the reason why some states don't want to get rid of the marijuana law and allow marijuana to be legal is because they want to let all those nonviolent offenders out. So think about it. Pookie Ray and them may have gotten 25 years combined for having a roach, a nickel bag, and maybe a lighter, right? But now, yes, thanks to Clinton, but now with the Rockefeller law, all that's happening. But now you actually can, you can actually go to a store in D.C. next to a police department and buy edibles. You can literally go to some places in some states, Colorado, California, New